Hello, and welcome to this episode of The Turn. My name is James Buffin, and we are going to explore the theme of leadership this episode. And the leadership that I have been part of and have witnessed in the last 3.5 years since I began my healing journey has been extraordinary. And it's not like the types of leadership that you experience in business or in politics. This is a very different kind of brand of leadership. So I hope that you can catch some of the spirit of that in the wisdom of what you're about to hear. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode.
I guess the bottom line in terms of leadership is that we're all leaders. It's just that we lead in different ways. I've perceived people as leaders who would never in a million years label themselves as a leader. And I feel that sometimes the people that are actively leading are not the ones that have guided me.
I didn't come here with any kind of thought or fortitude there that I was going to come here and I was going to facilitate and take lead in things. I never thought of that at all. I just wanted to come here and heal. Mm-hmm. The last thing I wanted to do was to lead anybody to whether to a bucket of water or anything else like that, right?
So all I do is the best that I can do at a specific time. But I'll tell you, if I feel that there's somebody there that has a voice that can't express themselves, I will be the first one that encourages them to find the leader in themselves and to speak, because there are so many gifts embedded in the voices of silent people.
In terms of leadership and teaching, I think that leadership mentor role should always be considered temporary. There should never, if you have a good mentor and a good leader, that leader will want to bring you past her or him. Rather than maintaining that leadership role, whatever is the best within the student, if that means succeeding the teacher, then that's what it means. And then maybe even the situation gets reversed, and that becomes a mentor leadership role. So it should always be considered temporary.
So now I'm looking at myself and going, wow, where did this come from? It was buried so deep inside me. I mean, I've never been a follower. I've always been a leader of my own. I mean, even if I led myself, but I never, I do not want to, I don't like following because it's usually bad news. But as far as leading is concerned and showing others, which I was taught was a better way and believe is a better way now, there's bar none, there's no better way to be as far as I'm concerned.
Bringing leadership into this area and having people share their stories and transforming themselves through a leadership and then helping other people transform is really, really key. It brings people out of a sense of isolation into community, makes them feel like there's a mentorship there, and it really is important that we need a lot of leaders. This is a small house, but we need a small house like this in almost every corner of the world, to be quite honest with you. And we need leaders to do that. We need people to transform. We need people to stand up and say, hey, this is what needs to happen. And transformation is possible. We've seen it in this house. We've seen people that with really, really rough beginnings and stories that have transformed their life that are now out there transforming other people's lives. That's the essence of leadership. And it's always with the idea that it's a temporary relationship. It may take 5 years, it may take a year, but it's to bring that person into their higher self, into their creative spirit and their creative gifts.
I think the value is movement.
Yeah.
There's so much movement with your experience, especially here, like at the Gatehouse, that wow, I think, because I think Arthur's even said this numerous times. It's like every time you step your foot in this door, no matter who you are, no matter what you do with anything moving forward, it's like you're a hero. Yeah. And when you can be a hero to helping someone from the first time they tell their story to where we take it today into leadership, and then make a difference from where you first put your foot in the door.
I
It's
mean,
possibility. It's like movement. It's like hope.
Thank you for watching this episode of The Turn, where we explored the theme of leadership. Next week's theme is the theme of metaphor and what that means for survivors of child sex abuse in their journeys, and how it's applied, and why, in fact, it's necessary for a lot of people to use as a means of expression. So, thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next episode.